Hey friends! If you've been following my Spanish language learning journey, then you probably know that I didn't grow up speaking Spanish at home, despite my mom and dad both being Spanish speakers. Spanish was more like the secret language that the adults had for when they wanted to talk about something that wasn't for us kids. Throughout my childhood, there were a few times where I asked my mom to speak Spanish to me so I could learn through immersion, but that usually only lasted 5 or 10 minutes max. Then a few days ago, knowing that my mom and dad would be in San Antonio, I was presented with the opportunity of being able to use the Spanish that I've been practicing over the past 2 years to have a chat with them. This would be a little bit different from a phone conversation because I would be able to mime out or draw a picture in order to express my thoughts and feelings. After I got the go-ahead from my dad, we ate breakfast and I spoke in Spanish the whole time.
Para mí me gustaría comer esto, por favor. Pero el pico de gallo en el aro.
Even our waitress was totally into it. I made my order to her in Spanish and she was then on only speaking Spanish to me and English to my dad. It was like a game called How Long Could I Go Without Speaking English? I also let my mom and dad know that I wasn't really interested in grammar or proper and formal speech, or even if they spoke in English, that would be completely fine. I get lots of listening practice through audiobooks, podcasts, music, and YouTubers that I follow. What I was interested in was forming a cohesive sentence and being able to express my thoughts. I think my only faux pas during breakfast was making the assumption that our waitress could speak Spanish. In San Antonio, I know that there's a large Spanish-speaking population, but that doesn't mean that I should assume things. Next time, it might be a little bit more polite to ask in English if they speak Spanish, and if so, then continuing on in Spanish. After breakfast, I went over to my aunt's house where my mom was visiting.
Estamos aquí en la casa de mi tía y vamos a hablar más en español por un poco más tiempo.
But there I was presented with another challenge. My uncle doesn't speak Spanish, and because I didn't want to exclude him from our conversation, I made sure to speak in English when he was in the room, but he also gave us plenty of family time, so I felt like I got a lot of Spanish speaking practice as well. I was really excited for this opportunity to talk to my mom and dad in Spanish when, as a child, I never could. I also understand that learning languages can be a little vulnerable. If you ever want to be able to use the language that you've been learning, then you also need to learn how to be okay with making mistakes in front of other people. That's why this time I feel really lucky to be able to practice with my mom and my dad in a safe environment where I felt like I wasn't going to get laughed at, or they weren't going to be overly critical, or even if they were a bit critical, then it was probably going to be constructive as well. So while I do plan on continuing to speak to my mom and dad in Spanish, this experience has also given me a little bit more confidence to speak to others, even strangers, in Spanish. So thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye! This is a little bit different from a conversation. This was a little bit different from a I was gonna say it again.